Hey, Rama. Hey, Jennifer.
Hey, Peter. Hey, Jennifer.
Hello.
All right, let's get started. Welcome everyone to the High Project Cacti Maintainers meeting. Please abide by the teacher's explicit notice that they're showing on the screen, and also by the High Project Code of Conduct and same for the agenda document. So, and with that said, the only thing I have for today is another status update. I am still working on the RC4 release, so sorry about that. It's very hopeful that this week I'll have time to finish it. Other than that, does anyone have any discussion topics?
Uh, I think at some point we should discuss the scorecard, but I haven't done any homework on that account. So if you want to discuss it, we can. But yeah, I want to give Jennifer the chance to first ask any questions if she has any. If not, we can maybe think about that.
No, I have no questions for the meeting.
Okay. So is everything working for the asset transfer now?
For asset transfer, yes. I went and turned, well, the I tried for a little while to get it working without using Fabric CLI, but I think that the configuration of the Weaver network is really, really tied to Fabric CLI. So I can use it, or rather, I have a makefile that can deploy a whole network locally, but that doesn't work on right now on in CI. So there's just one last hurdle to get it going, I think, in CI. But just as an aside, has there been many successful contributions from open source to the Weaver project?
What do you mean?
Have people from the internet been able to launch a Weaver network?
Yeah, I mean we have. I don't know about people from the internet. People we have support offered client projects built on Weaver. Yeah, but that was those are projects where I mean, team from IBM worked with the developers to get
Yeah,
done.
like because the Fabric CLI, it's really, really tied in. I would think more about how that can be either it's a real tool that people use, or you make it easier to use the system without it, because it's really tied in. And as going back to my engineering days, I had one of my favorite classes was reliability engineering,
Mhm.
where if you have a whole sequence of things that have a small probability of error, the probability of the whole thing working is really low. So like if you have a 3% chance of error on any individual steps and you have 40 or 50 or 60 steps, like even when you get to 40 steps, the whole sequence has a 30% chance of being successful. So having a really long configuration sequence really cuts down on the amount of people that are able to contribute.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And the Fabric CLI is not something I particularly like. It's just something that we started off with as a simple tool to submit to configure a network for different purposes. We've just accumulated a lot of stuff over the past few years. So yeah,
Okay,
if
because
you
that's been my major challenge, to reverse engineer what's going on in the Fabric CLI, to see how whether or not you can split it out, and it is really tied together. But
yeah,
anyway,
there are things that we can split out. Again, it requires some work. I guess yeah, if it's been like Sandeep and me and a couple of other people who've been working on that, we've just tended to, because we are familiar with the Fabric CLI code to some extent, we would
mhm,
just go and add another command. Usually, we would try to keep it as flat as possible, in that
yeah,
you try to create a bunch of parallel commands. So, you're not sort of, you don't have a chain of dependencies. And what you
mhm,
said about reliability definitely applies when you have a chain. Here, we just create a separate command and make it uh, do a different kind of configuration. Like initially, we had the view sending and the proof verification kind of flow, and then we had another command. We create another command for doing asset swaps. We create another command or a set of commands for asset transfers. But yeah, if you have any ideas for refactoring,
yeah. I think it
please.
would be much
Yeah.
better. Yeah,
Mm.
you would get a lot more contributions for your testing if you
Yeah.
had a Docker compose. Like if you just brought it up, if it was one command to bring everything up. I've been trying to work on that in a make file, but
Yeah.
I think it would be better as a Docker compose file, because there's just so much interdependency.
No, you're absolutely right. I really appreciate the comments here. Do you want to either you can open an issue, or I can open an issue? Maybe you can do it because you've had some experience. Just open an issue saying talking about refactoring and cleaning up the Fabric CLI, and then we can
Sure.
have some discussions on that thread. Okay?
Okay. Sounds good.
Thanks, Nick.
So I was
Peter,
looking at the
yeah,
scorecard while you were talking, and the one of the highest ones is binary artifacts.
yeah.
So I can commit to getting rid of the tops two, the Gradle wrapper for the connector, and the BASM file for the keychain plugin.
What would be the
Did you
alternative
take
to
care of this?
yeah, the Gradle wrapper.jar is it's part of the Gradle configuration for that particular project. So if we get rid of it, then we'll have to write some script to fetch it, right, on the fly.
Yeah, it has to be part of the build process to create it or fetch it.
Yeah. Um, but the last two, by the way, they are in the test folder. The last three. Can we? Is there a way? If there's a way to provide an exception for this, then say that some of these artifacts just lie in the test folders, and we're keeping it there just so if any user comes and tries to run a test or bring up a test network, they don't face any unpleasant surprises because of dependency issues. And if we can do that, that'd be good. I'm just wondering though, I think the way the scorecard works is if we have if you leave even a single one out of these in the code, in the repository, you're going to get a 0, right?
Yeah, I think so too. All the documentation that I took on it, there isn't any specifies for exceptions, but they say it's listed for allowed stuff, but they don't mention tests. But it does sound like there should be a way to exclude something, because otherwise, how would you specify what's allowed? Maintainer. Oh, there we go. Oh, there you go. Thing is, this looks like you can either just turn it off completely or not.
Mhm.
I was hoping this would allow us to exclude only specific files.
So this will result in the exclusion of the entire repository.
Yeah.
I guess one way of, if we really need to keep that jar file, we'll think about trying to generate it and remove it and generate it on the fly. But if we can't do that, maybe we can create a test image, publish it, and then use that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that would also be a good program.
Okay, we'll take that as an action item.
Alright. In the meantime, hopefully they add a feature that we can exclude specific files. That'd be nice. Alright, that's all I had. Does anyone else have any other topics for discussion?
Not at this time.
Not for me.
Zero?
Not for me.
Alright. Thanks everyone for joining. I'll talk to you next time.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
All right.